Somewhere around here, draped over nicely, so it shouldn't touch the floor.
Shabbat Shalom became a very strange day.
Yeah.
The rabbi's not here. Herb died a week before his 100th birthday.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Good, okay.
That just means we have to come.
Yes, you please do. Please do.
Yeah, very easily. The best way
You think you could make it to 99 and 9/10? You could make it the other week. But what is it the Jews sing? Man makes plans and God laughs. If anybody gets too warm, I'll try to learn how to put on the air conditioner again.
It feels better. So we will be doing Kiddush out there, okay? And it'll be only the second time that we've done it out there. We did it when it was the B'nai Mitzvah, the night before the B'nai Mitzvah. And that was like the beginning of redoing our Kiddush tradition or getting back to it. So Eileen, that's what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be out there.
Out there.
Okay, so my question is, because I was thinking about this during the night, Olivia, do you take the camera, do we go out there?
I usually end it right before that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you don't even do it when I'm singing it?
When you were up here, like
Yeah.
previously, yes, but when we transferred to
Okay.
out there, I usually just end it right
So that's
before
what we're
that.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's great. Okay. And we got the computer and all that as well. And this is Dave Goldstein, who's going to accompany us tonight, as we all know. And Olivia is over here. And Eileen set everything up. And Marlene is here. It's so nice to see Marlene.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Marlene came for you.
Yeah. And you know what? Right now, I mean, you don't need to know this, but right now, I don't know. You're going to be mad at me. I can't find my tallis.
You can't find your tallis? You mean I have to go back to Israel again?
Yes. Yes. It's around, it's got to be around here somewhere because it never leaves the premises. But for some reason, I don't have it, and I apologize. And I was going to specifically wear it tonight because I had a feeling you might be here, and you are, and it's not. I'm sorry. Okay. So the thing is, I'm obviously number 3 in command. When Rabbi's not here, it goes to Ira. When Ira's not here, it goes to us. Okay? And that's perfectly fine. So because of that, we're probably not going to do everything as perfectly as we might be doing if I was simply accompanying and singing and Rabbi or Ira were up here. So there might be times when I will ask for you guys to help me out and to tell me a page number, or if there's something I've missed or something like that, you know. And I know that Dave will do the same thing also, and we will work together. We will all work together. Okay, it's time for Hivenu Shalom. Hivenu Shalom. Hivenu Shalom. Hivenu Shalom. And then Rabbi likes us to turn to the left and to the right and say good to Shabbos to somebody on one side of you and good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom on someone on the other side of you, so that we get the Ashkenaz and the Sephardic way of saying it. And having done so, we're ready to sing the second half of this song. Shalom Aleichem, we greet you. Shalom Aleichem, we need you. Shalom Aleichem, we love you. We bring you Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleichem. Maestro. also very nice tonight that we have some folks that we haven't seen in a long time, Bruce and Kathleen, and their wonderful son, Ryan. Ryan?
Yep.
Yes, great, and his wife. And the younger son is not here, and he's the one that, did he have his bar mitzvah here?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, that's amazing. So it's really great that you guys are here. We have choir members with us tonight, which is wonderful, absolutely. And Howard is here. This is great. And he had his bar mitzvah here?
Oh, no, but this is my yarmulke and talis that my dad presented me for the
That's
father-son
fantastic.
speech
That is
Um,
fantastic.
56 years ago.
Oh my gosh, that's a beautiful thing. That's great, that's great.
Wow.
And in front of Eileen and Marlene, I don't know you.
Oh, this is
Welcome.
Patrick. Patrick came a couple weeks ago,
Great. Hi,
and he came back.
Yeah, he wants
to convert. No, he doesn't. Just a cultural
Well, it's just
study.
great that you're here. It really is. That's great. And Paul is here,
I'm here.
and Jennifer and Colin are here, and Olivia is taking care of us on the screen. Okay, so now what we do is we do the candle lighting. And I guess to keep things as safe as possible, they are lit by electricity. And is there anyone who wants to come up and do the candle blessing today or tonight? Anybody? I'm not going to force anyone. You want to do it? Good, come on up. I'll get you a tallis. It won't be your tallis. I wish I knew where my tallis was. This is ridiculous. No, it's not here. Well, so they might. I will keep looking. Okay.
Oh, it's fine.
So Marlene is the head of the sisterhood currently, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Anything else that you are that I should know about?
No.
Good.
Okay.
So, as these Shabbat.
Okay, as these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our day be among those who kindle light.
Beautiful.
Do
And
you want
then
to do the
all
Hebrew?
together we sing. Give us a D minor or C D minor. Beautiful. Here we go. And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We can go down there. And the translation.
Blessing are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who follows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Beautiful. Very good. Brilliant. Well, most of the time people do this. Okay. We are to welcome the angels. And as we do that, we need to sing a beautiful song. And that is going to be Shalom Aleichem. And I believe that it's on page 142. Now, I might be slightly out of order. And if I am, I promise you, we will go backwards to the Chadodi. Okay, but right now, in my book, the next thing for us to do is Shalom Aleichem, as we are welcoming the angels. Anybody have any angel experiences they want to talk about today? No? Oh, I bet you do. You just don't want to talk about it. So there can be angels that you don't pay attention to, and I think I am one of those people who can say that I should have paid a little more attention last week to some angels that were here. I'm sorry, what?
Could you talk a little bit more?
Oh, yeah, that's what this is for. I
Yeah.
forgot. Anyway, the angels are always with us, and sometimes we just don't recognize them. Okay. Here we go. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Hamadim, HaKadosh Baruch. Take a breath, we go up. Malachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamadim, HaKadosh Baruch. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamadim, HaKadosh Baruch. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech, Malachei Hamadim, HaKadosh Baruch. And it's beautiful. Sometimes we forget to look down below at the translation, but it's all right there. Ministering angels, messengers of the Most High. It's really nice. I think sometimes we forget to read the translations. So you might want to look at that for just one moment. And that's great. So we are welcoming the Queen of Shabbat. And Shabbat being the Queen, we have to welcome the Queen. And Rabbi always says that a long time ago, people would definitely know when you were late to services because you're supposed to stand up and welcome the Queen as the Queen is coming through the door. But that also might have been you coming through the door a little bit late. So that's when people would go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little late. But in the meantime, let's sing Lecha Dodi. And Lecha Dodi is going to be found on page 138, if I am not mistaken. And it's a wonderful piece. As you can see, there are many, keep vamping. There are many verses to this, but traditionally at Temple Beth Emet, we sing verse 1, and then we go down to the end of the second page and we sing verse 9. And all together, it sounds like this. You know it. And back to the chorus at the top. Back to the chorus at the top. the Kabbalah, Lechodoti, Likrat Kala, Lenei Shabbat, Kabbalah. And I imagine that this song must have come from the Kabbalah, because that's why the word Kabbalah is in here. And so that's an interesting thing to notice. And also, I was wrong. It's not the queen, it's the bride. So please forgive me. It's the bride that we are welcoming, meeting the bride, the beloved come to greet Shabbat. So just like you would greet your beloved bride or groom, that kind of a thing, it's the same concept. That's really very beautiful as well. And just for a second, I would like all of you to just look again at some of these translations because they're really beautiful. And that's really nice. Lift yourself up, shake off the dust. Enter in peace, O crown of your husband. Enter in gladness, enter in joy. Come to the people that keeps its faith. Enter, O bride, enter, O bride. Okay, well, thank you for doing that with me. I was just kind of taking the opportunity of doing that with you guys because it's a very intimate group that we have right now. So, after we do that, this is the time when you all got to stand up. Okay. Is there somebody who would like to come and have the honor of opening the ark for us? Anybody having a birthday or a celebration of any sort? Going once, going twice? Howard, yay, good. So Howard's going to come up.
I volunteer Howard.
And this is the Boruchu that we're going to be doing, and the Boruchu. So you're going to open up the ark for us. And we don't take the Torah. We just sing in praise of the Torah. I don't think we have to take it out. So, Howard, you're just going to come over here and magically. And that worked out really well. And you're more than welcome to go have a stand in your place where you were. Okay. Now, lie. Very good. So everybody, it starts out with the simplest of words. So like Patrick, even if you don't know the words, if you know lie, you're in good company. So we're all going to do that together, facing the ark and facing all of our beautiful Torahs. And yes, we have enough people, so we didn't need to take one out for a minute. Okay. 1, 2, ready, and I'm sorry, page 144 or 46. Let's see. Yes, ma'am. Not yet. This comes first. Okay? Yes.
Sorry.
That'll happen right after. I promise.
I'm sorry.
Okay? All right. And we bow as we sing. We bend our knees and bow. And now, Eileen, you're absolutely correct. Do you want to carry a Torah for us tonight? Do you shoulders or back, or you want to hold a Torah for us?
Me?
Yeah. No? Okay. Is there anybody here who would like
I
to?
don't want to schlep a Torah.
Okay, Howard, you're on. Come on back. You tried to do it a minute ago and I wouldn't let you. But now you're really going to do it. Okay, and this is as we do the Shema, as we all know, which is coming on page 152. And the Shema is the watchword of our faith. We were the ones who thought of the idea of one God, And I've been reading this wonderful book by Karen Armstrong called The History of God. And I really recommend it to all of you. It deals with the 3 Abrahamic religions, but it also does include a bunch of stuff about Buddhism and Hinduism. And it really helps you to understand how it all began. And the first chapter is us, because we started it. Okay, so we're going to do the Shema right now. And a lot of people do cover their faces. Some people take their talit and put them over their heads so that they can just shut out everything else and focus. And it was also so that you wouldn't, if God happened to be around and God's face was there, you didn't want to see God's face. This was way back in the time of crossing the desert and the tabernacle and all of that, when sometimes they actually thought that they were seeing God's face and they couldn't, because if they did, they felt that they would like die immediately. So this was another thing to do, to cover your face so that you wouldn't see God. So we kind of do that when we're doing the Shema. And ready? Thank you. Shema Israel. And the English, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Praised be his name, whose glory, kingdom, ever and ever. Excellent. And then, if you are okay with holding it some more, you want to just go around while we sing and clap our hands. 1, 2, Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael. You can do it twice. 2 hollies is really good. Am Yisrael. Am That was great, all the way around. That was really great. Dave, you're amazing. You haven't done this in a whole year. And it's just like you did it yesterday. It's just great. And you're more than welcome to sit down, and everyone else is welcome to sit down. That was one of the things that I had a big problem with the last time that I ever did this, was remembering when you stand and when you sit. But right now, I think because we're finished, and I actually think we close the ark now. Thank you, Eileen. And Eileen, if I was harsh a moment ago when I said that it wasn't time for the Shema, please forgive me. I hit a little.
You're the rabbi. Tonight, you're the rabbi.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm supposed to act?
Whatever you do is right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
This is great. Okay. It's great. Okay. So the thing of it is, the next thing that we are to do is a speaking prayer, and it is the Via Hafta. And the Via Hafta is absolutely wonderful. And everyone who has been bar and bat mitzvah here knows how to do the Via Hafta. Right, Olivia? And Olivia teaches the Via Hafta to all the kids so that they can do it and say it. And we used to say it all the time here at Temple Beth Emet. Don't ask me what changed. All I know is we stopped doing it. We certainly get to hear it when the kids are having their bar and bat mitzvahs, but we stopped doing the Via Hafta. So tonight, Olivia, sing loud with me, okay? Because we're going to do the Via Hafta, and we're going to do it in Hebrew. And it's on page 154. And this is one of the things that you learn at the very beginning of when you go to Hebrew school. And I remember the teacher who taught me in my conservative temple. He was a tiny little guy. He looked like a troll. And his name was Mr. Hecht, and he was wonderful. But I remember when he taught this to us. So we're going to start, Olivia, And if anybody wants to join in, here we go. Sounds great. B'chol levavcha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol miyotecha, v'chayu hadvarim ha'eleh, asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha, v'shinatan levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shiftecha b'mitecha, u'lektecha v'derech, Ushachtecha, uvekumecha, ukshartam liot, al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot, beinenecha, uchtavtam, al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, l'man tizkeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kiddushim, l'lechem, Ani Adonai Elohim Asher Hotzeiti Echem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiyot Lechem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohim Emet. And if everyone would just look at the translation for a moment, because it's really important. You shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God, for I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. And the commandments, you start realizing that, there's 613 of them, but a lot of them are not commandments that we need to follow, because a lot of them have nothing to do with us as just average parishioners and congregants. So that lets us off the hook for quite a few of them. But there's still quite a few. I mean, everybody thinks it's only the 10. It is, but there are a lot of others. And so sometime it'd be interesting to know more about the other ones. But what I have been reading in this book that I'm reading, as I said, The History of God, is that the commandments are gifts to us, because laws are gifts to us, so that we know how to do things right, because sometimes we forget. And so it's great to know what's expected of us through the commandments. And also, the more that we do them, the more we cleanse ourselves so that we can be more righteous and more holy and walk with God. Now, you might think that that sounds a little bit on the Christian side, but it's really not. It's really not. There's a beautiful song that goes, don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. And together we'll walk in the way of Hashem. Together we'll walk in the way of Hashem. Okay, I'm going to try not to cry tonight. So it's a beautiful thing to think of. And I just wanted to mention that to you. So the commandments are there for us for those reasons. So one of the things we were commanded to do was to stand on the parted shores of history, and we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. If you turn to 157, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, and that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, and that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together, and turning to page 157. That's the best joke that the rabbi ever invented. That's one of his famous ones. And so because of that, we all know what page we're on, and I bet you even know what song we're up to. Because if we're standing on those parted shores, we must be near some water. And what song did we sing near what water? We sang the Mi Chamocha at the Reed Sea. So that's where we are on page 158, where we're singing Mi Chamocha, who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped. So it's really good. I mean, the hardest part is when he keeps telling us that we're not allowed to cheer when our team wins. He says we're supposed to only thank God that our team won. Instead of saying that, thank goodness the Diamondbacks aren't as good as they used to be. And that's why we won. Okay, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to just say, thank you, God, that we did win. So with that in mind, the Dodgers just started playing at 7:00. So everybody keep your fingers crossed, but don't cheer too much for them if they win. Just say, thank God that they win, because they really need to win. Okay, so this is Micha Mocha on page 158. And we start off with words that Patrick's going to know because they're just yaba ba bim bam. Okay, easy stuff, right? Then it gets harder. So here comes Maestro. And ba bim bim bam yaba ba bim bam yaba ba bim bim bam yaba ba bim bam ay 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 yaba ba bim bam ay 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 yaba ba bim bam Micha Mocha by the second verse, my heart is to from I am the thing of shepherd, sailing, sailing, I do the hour, I am Bella Abba, Eddie Abba, Bim Bam, Abba, Bim Bam, Abba, Bim Bam, Abba, Bim Bam, ay, 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 Abba, Bim Bam, ay, 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 Abba, Bim. The last one, the Emma, keep it up, and And as we turn to the Vishamru on 162, there's a beautiful thing in between, the Hashkivenu on page 160, but we don't do it, but we do it for high holidays. So be prepared. Hashkivenu is just wonderful, and we will be doing it. And by the way, just a little heads up, Rosh Hashanah is on a Friday night, and that doesn't happen that often. So this year, when Rosh Hashanah begins, it will also be Shabbat. And apparently, Shabbat, I hate to say this word, trumps, but it does. It trumps Rosh Hashanah as being still the more important of the two holidays. I'm going to have to find out more about that, but anyway, it's kind of interesting. One thing that will be different this year for those of us who are in the choir is that we will be doing the Vishamru as part of Rosh Hashanah services because it is a Friday night. So that's going to be interesting. We haven't done that in quite a while. The Vishamru, as you all know, is the prayer that guards Shabbat. And Rabbi says that we don't take enough time to rest. And he always looks at Eileen at that point and says, Eileen knows how to do this because she watches movies. And this is how she rests. And then she also, he's been missing bantering with you about movies and movie titles. And you know how you guys have that thing. But anyway, so you guys, you figure out your ways of being peaceful. Anybody garden? Anybody gardening once, twice? No, you do a little bit?
The gardener doesn't do it, somebody has to do it.
Oh, is that what it
I guess
is?
it's me.
And speaking of gardening, here's a good question. Does anybody who knows a lot about what goes on here knows if the gardeners are watering the little baby olive tree that's just to the left of the entrance to the parking lot?
I will certainly ask him to make sure he does it.
Okay, that's what we planted at Tu B'Shvat. but it's so tiny you can't even see it. Well, you can see it, but you have to stand up right next to it.
Okay.
So gardening is a wonderful thing to do. In this case, it's their job, not their way of resting. But if you can, I've been meaning to talk about that.
Sure.
Okay, that would be great. Anyway, so the Vishamru, we're going to sing it together. And let's get a minor chord. Beautiful. Vishamru, page 162. And we're going to sing all together. 1, 2, ready, and Vishamru, B'nai Yisrael, Shabbat, Asot, et HaShabbat, Ledoton Berito, Lamidu, Vishamru, B'nai Yisrael, Shabbat, Asot, et HaShabbat, Ledoton Berito, Beni uvein b'nai Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nai Yisrael, Shabbat, Asot, et HaShabbat, Ledoton Berito, Ki sheshet yamim, asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz, vishamru b'nai Yisrael, et hashabbat, asot, et hashabbat, ledoton berito. At the very bottom line, Uvayom Hashvi'i. Thank you, Dave. Uvayom Hashvi'i, Shabbat vayinachash, Shabbat vayinachash, Shabbat vayinachash, Vishamru b'nai Yisrael, et Shabbat, Asot, et HaShabbat, Ledoton Berito. That was great. And I love the little jazz and blues that you put in. Yeah, beautiful. Minor sevenths. Oh, lovely. That was really, really great. Okay, so because we did the Via Haftarah, I don't think that we need to go to some other pages that we might have, on top of which it's not time to do that anyway. I do believe the next thing is to think about the people who are ill, okay? And the people who have died, and the people who perished at the bottom of the ocean. Can't help but think about that. And of course, our own hurt. Now, we're not saying Kaddish yet, but we will. But in the meantime, what we will do is sing the Misha Beirach on page 371. And the reason that we're going to do that, we will in a minute, is to give a song of healing. And what Rabbi likes to do before we do the Misha Beirach is he wants us to say the names of people who are ill. And that he feels, and many people feel, that when we say the names out loud, that we're actually like a megaphone. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to do that. So I don't know about you, my list is growing, which is unfortunate, isn't it? So think for a second about who you want to say, because every time Rabbi starts putting up his hand and wants us all to say, I can't remember them. So think about who you want to say for a minute, and then you can all do this too. We should all split our fingers and, do that. Okay, so just think for a second who you're going to say, and then start saying names right now, please. Okay. Garrett, Parks, say your names out loud. Josh, Ken Bonebreak. Patrice Long. Edith, Frederica Derby. And, right. All right. Thank you for waiting. I'm really sorry. Now we need to say the prayer that was uttered for Moses' sister Miriam, and it's El Na Rafanallah. So can we all say it together? El Na Rafanallah, El Na Rafanallah, El Na Rafanallah. May it be a blessing that brings about a complete healing, a refuah shlema, which is what that means, refuah shlema. Those are great words. So now, if I'm not mistaken, page 371, and this is Nisha Bayrock. And do you have it in the key of G by chance? Incredible. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a very good, comfortable key for most people to sing, and we all need to be singing this together. And this, of course, was written by, it's an ancient prayer, but it was put to music by Debbie Friedman, and we're really glad that she did. So here we go. And may the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah, a renewal of body, a renewal of spirit, and let us say, ah. Sing it the high G, I want to hear you. Thank you. Beautiful. Lovely. It's almost in tune. That was really nice, you guys. That sounded really, really pretty and so beautiful. And then Rabbi also likes us to do a silent prayer or a silent thinking of these folks. And Dave does such a good job with giving us beautiful music, so let's do that. It was beautiful. Thank you. If everyone could turn to 180, and this is really important. It's so important that we ask for these words that we've already sung and spoken to be acceptable to God. And my choir members will know that we sing these words, Yehi li ratzonim refi, v'yon libi lefanecha. Yehi li ratzonim refi, v'yon libi lefanecha. Adonai suri v'goali. And then we would sing, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. And there are those words. And we have to say them at the end of every single bunch of prayers So let's just do them one time with the transliteration, and therefore everyone can be saying them to God together. Yehiyu liratzon imrefi v'hegyon libi lifanecha Adonai Tsuri v'goali, and the translation. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. And at this point in the service, if we were taking out the Torah, we would be doing just that so that we could be reading from the Torah. Well, we're not going to read from the Torah per se, but I have been advised to read to you the translation and explanation of the Torah portion that is for tonight, or for Shabbat. And we are in Numbers, and if you are familiar with the 5 books that are in the Torah, and of course it starts out with Bereshit and Vayikra and Bamidbar and Devarim, and I left one out, but I did, and I'm sorry. What did I leave out, you guys? Bereshit, Shemot, Vayikra, Bamidbar, Devarim. Okay, got it. And what they are in English is Bereshit is Genesis, then Genesis, Exodus, then there is Leviticus. Next comes Numbers, then Deuteronomy. If any of you have been in my choir and sung that in that way, you would know that we are in Numbers, okay? So that's where we are right now. We're in the book of Numbers. And being that that is the case, the Sidra or the section is Korah. So I'm going to read to you, because the best thing I can do is read to you from a very good source, which is this book that was given to me by the rabbi. The Sidra reports another uprising against Moses. Earlier rebellions had broken out because of lack of water, insufficient food, and at the unfavorable report of the spies sent to scout Canaan or Canaan. Now, another uprising took place, and this one because of Korach's envy. Though he was of the tribe of Levi and a cousin of Moses and Aaron, Korah was jealous of their leadership of Israel. This is starting to sound like succession, don't you think? I mean, interfamily, those kinds of things, revolting within the family. Into this revolt, Korach dragged as his supporters members of the tribe of Reuben. The Reubenites, capital R, were descendants of Jacob's eldest son, and therefore believed themselves to be entitled to leadership over Israel. Together, Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and 250 like-minded men challenged Moses and Aaron in their leadership. These rebels charged Moses and Aaron with taking too much power upon themselves. Moses was stunned. He had certainly shared the leadership responsibility by spreading it among 70 elders, many judges, and the tribal chiefs. Certainly the leadership responsibility which he carried was difficult and thankless. Now came this unfair challenge from Korah and his company. So Moses prayed to God that justice would be done against the rebels. They were punished with death. It was, unfortunately, the only way in which the Israelites could be made to understand that Moses was truly the leader of Israel and that Aaron was legitimately the Kohen HaGadol, the top of the Kohen tribe, the big one, Gadol. So there you have it. That's what this is all about right now. And, it always makes you a little sad that there has to be death and killing. But as Rabbi says, that's what the Torah is all about, It's the life and times, the ups and downs of the Israelite people. And so included in there were things like this. I mean, it's the same thing, when when Moses saw that the Israelites were worshiping the golden calf, 3,000 Israelites were smitten, smote, whatever the verb is. And, when I'm explaining this to the kids, they go, why? And I said, because they were worshiping the golden calf. And they think it's a very harsh punishment. Well, we've always been told that the version of God that's back in those days, God was a jealous God, a very jealous God. And that's the reason that apparently there had to be that kind of reprisal. So it always makes me a little bit sad because, the kids are going, aren't we supposed to be peaceful? And I tell them, we are now. We're trying to be now, but it wasn't quite that way back then. So we have fulfilled, I believe, almost everything that we're supposed to do. The only thing that's left is doing our Kiddush. And so because Kiddush, and now, well, there's going to be, we're going to do Kiddush Kiddush is out there, Kaddish is here. And that's why, you know what, those two words, forever. Yes, that's right. I knew that I had to do this. It's just that it was over there and I forgot. So thank you. Okay. The June yard sites are as follows. Edward Goldsmith, Dorothy Kapelowitz, Stephen K. Kaiser, Morris Feinsilber, Alec Hoffman, Tony Becker, James Pollard, Erwin Nord, Henry Capson, Sidney J. Epstein, Edward A. Goldsmith, Charles Kaiser. And then people who we are remembering with yard sites, Ava Morales, Irma Garcia, Uzia Garcia, Javier Lopez, Eliana Cruz Torres, and possibly some people that I did not mention, Maggie Montalbano, Cecilia Feldman, Samuel Polakoff, Regina Glatzer. And what Rabbi always says is, if there's someone that has been left out that needed a name to be spoken tonight, please raise your hand right now and give me that name. And I will apologize that it's not here or that I missed it. Nobody? Okay. So at that point, we are to open the ark and we are to stand up and to find on page 598. And as Rabbi has always said, that the board made a very fine decision that we would all say it for everyone who has not had someone to say it for them in the past. So this is the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. If anyone wants to come closer to the ark, you're welcome to. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shnei rabbah, v'yamad divrach yutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael, v'agalah uv'zizman karev v'imru amen. Yehei shnei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'amei amayah. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit umam v'yit naseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shnei kedusha b'richu. Le'olam yimchal b'chata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata v'amiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'ramah, huya aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Okay, now I think we are ready. You are welcome to be seated. So, all of my people who know what our services are like, are we done? We are, okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You sure?
Isn't there that closing song before The Kiddush?
Yes, because I don't go in, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, say shalom b'mamav. Okay, so you guys, if you turn back to 180, you will find these words, okay? And they're also at the end of what we just spoke, I realize. But if you want to see them a little bit better. So this is oh, say shalom b'mamav, right underneath that cleansing prayer that we asked God to listen to our meditations. Okay, so 180, and in the key of C minor, yeah, you're amazing. 1, 2, 3. Oh, say shalom b'mamav. Thank you, Olivia. God say shalom aleichem. Ve'al Israel. Now, my last question to everyone is, I don't know enough about halakha and Jewish tradition. Were we supposed to have mentioned the name of our dear departed? No, it's too soon.
And actually, he's buried there.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I think.
So everyone who is aware of what went on very recently with our dear friend Herb Mires, tonight was not the night to speak his name when we were just saying people who have passed. Okay, just wanted to clear it and make sure that I didn't do something wrong in that realm. All right, so now, on a slightly lighter note, we're gonna go out there and all have some challah and some grape juice and think about Herb and think about everyone